Alright, here I am at the Ardmore Avenue Railroad Crossing in Villa Park, Illinois. Now this railroad crossing right here is another rather neat railroad crossing owned by the Union Pacific Geneva subdivision. Now, I have toured a couple of crossings on the subdivision before, a couple in West Chicago and I believe in some other places that I don't remember. Oh yeah, Rochelle, Illinois. And this crossing right here features some pretty neat equipment that you would see around the Chicago suburbs, some advanced technology and a lot of protection amenities, as you can see, surrounding all around. And this video right here is going to be the returning series of my nighttime crossing tours, because I'm going to try this out with some adaptations here. And this crossing right here overall features some pretty interesting equipment, some left over from the older days, mixed in with the modernities of the modern signal installs that they tend to install around here nowadays. Now, obviously, just like many of the past crossing tour videos I've made, that I recently started making in new style, what I'm going to be doing is going in depth with all the equipment of this railroad crossing. Then I'll go ahead and tour around some of the scenic parts of this crossing, and in the end of the video, I am going to show you guys what this railroad crossing looks like when it's in action. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and get to it. So, for the first signal right here, this has a SafeTran base, and here's the emergency information right here, and the dot number is 174937L, and this is a relatively old mast, as you can see. And for the gate mechanism, this has a SafeTran gate mechanism 2000s generation with some, I believe, Rico or NEG gate lights, LED gate lights that is. And there's a wind guard on this mast. Let me turn on my light right there. Yep. And for the lights on this one, this has two pairs of SafeTran 12x24-inch light heads, which I believe these are mid to late 70s. And these have the Union Pacific in specialized LEDs in them. They're either General Signals or RSI, one of the two. Or, what was I going to say? Electrotech. And these are all sitting on an L&W light bracket, as you can see. And for the bell on the signal, this has a Western Cullen Hayes electronic bell. I believe this is a Type 1 because this is the higher pitch and it's also relatively quiet, so it's probably reaching the end of its life pretty soon, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, that right there is the first signal. Now if we go to our left, we also have a secondary gate mechanism for the sidewalk right here. So this is completely separate from the main signal, but it still activates in unison with the rest of the crossing. So what this is sitting on a Western Cullen Hayes base with the Western Cullen Hayes back clamp, because this was a recent install. And this has a Western Cullen Hayes gate mechanism, newer generation. And if you look up here, we also got a big screen and speaker, both of which are Atlas brand. And what this is actually a big light up sign now that says, "Danger, another train coming." And that's actually what the speaker says too. And that's exactly how it says. It says, "Danger, another train coming." Now, obviously what this does is when there's another train coming after the next one approaches, or while the first one approaches or clears, this will come on indicating that another train is coming, just so the pedestrians are safe, so they don't just straight up assume that the first train is cleared and they'll just, cross right after that. Now, that right there is the first set of signals on this side. Now let's go ahead and go to the other side, the north side of the road, but the west side of the northwest side of the road. So right here we have another one of these pedestrian gate mechanisms with the same setup. So this once again is sitting on a mast with a Western Cullen Hayes base and has a newer generation Western Cullen Hayes gate mechanism just like the other one. And once again up here we got an Atlas LED another train coming screen with the speaker. And inside and above that, you got the box with I believe the voice chip inside of it. So yeah, that right there is the two pedestrian gates and the main signal for the north side of Ardmore Avenue. Now let's go ahead and go on to the south side of the street, where you have the other main signal and the other pedestrian signal. Now to get the other pedestrian signal out of the way, this one has the same exact equipment as the first two, sitting on a mast with the Western Cullen Hayes base. also including another Western Cullen Hayes gate mechanism modern generation. Now, as you can see, just like the first two, you can see they did some modification to the gate arm where they cut off the extra metal at the bottom. And the reason why they did this is because the gate is much smaller than a full-size gate, so therefore the extra counterweight is not necessary. And unlike the crossings that I toured yesterday in Downers Grove, all of these gates right here do not have gate lights. Well, the main gates do, but the pedestrian gates don't. But yeah, above, also installed on this pedestrian signal, once again you got another Atlas screen with the LED danger, another train coming, and the speaker right above it with the voice chip. Jeez. Anyways, that right there was the third pedestrian signal, starting on the south side of Ardmore. Now let's go on to the second main signal here. And for this one, it's somewhat similar to the first. This one has another Safe Tran base. And here's the emergency information once again. And for the lights on this one, this has two pairs of Safe Tran 12x24-inch light heads, once again with Electrotech or RSI LEDs in them. They're virtually the same, but they kind of fade in and out. It's the signature thing that you would always see on UP. They would use these or the Leotech EV series LEDs. Or in some cases, the Western Cullen Hayes first generation LEDs, but those are significantly more rare. I believe the 9th Street crossing in Rochelle has those. I could be wrong though. But yeah, and these are all sitting on a Safe Tran light bracket. As you can see, these light heads are pretty old. You can see the backgrounds are rusted in the back and everything. And for the gate mechanism, this has another Safe Tran gate mechanism, 2000s generation. Once again, featuring some Ricoh LED gate lights and a wind guard on the mast. These are either Ricoh or NEG. I can't really tell because, well, it is dark. But from the looks of it, they could be Ricoh. And for the bell on this one, this has a General Signals Type 3 electronic bell. I believe this replaced a Type 2 or maybe a Type 1 sometime in the past. Not a lot of Type 1s remain on the Geneva sub, but they're still pretty cool when you see them around. One place, for example, being in West Chicago. So yeah, I guess with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the final signal of this entire setup, which indicates the southwest side of the crossing, which is another pedestrian signal on the sidewalk here. So yeah, once again, this one features yet another Western Cullen Hayes mast and base, and another Western Cullen Hayes gate mechanism, newer generation, and another Atlas screen with the letters spelled out, LED letters spelled out, danger, another train coming, and the speaker right above it. And as you can see, one thing worth noting that as you can see that the LED patterns here are a different color. The danger lights up red, and the another train coming is like a lightish amber. And I believe the danger flashes while the another train coming stays steady. Now, if I can get this in action later, I will show you guys what this looks like in action. So yeah, I guess with that said, that is all the equipment here to show for Ardmore Avenue here in Villa Park, Illinois. Here is the relay case. Right here, sitting at milepost 17.71. Nice, a palindrome number. And I guess with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track view. Down there is heading west towards a set of automatic signals. As you can see, they all show a default color of yellow, and it's more like a signal bridge. And this also heads down towards another crossing right there if you look very, very closely. Yep, pretty cool stuff. And it also curves back there as well. And down there is heading east towards downtown Elmhurst and another crossing on Villa Avenue, or Villa Street. And you can see that there's here is the Villa Park station, Metro station right here. Yes, this is still on the portion of the UP Geneva sub that both UP and Metro run on. Metro service ends right in Elburn, and they just run between there and Chicago. So yeah, I guess with all that said, that is all there is to show for the Ardmore Avenue railroad crossing in Villa Park, Illinois. Now, I guess with all that said and all that shown, let's go ahead and see what this railroad crossing looks like in action. Here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys like this crossing tour video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what kind of crossings I should tour next. Now, I guess all that said, wherever I may go next, I hope to see y'all trackside. Over and out.